raging storm paralyzes much of the East Coast, keeping the federal government shut down, canceling hundreds of flights, and leaving hundreds of thousands of people without power. We'll bring you the latest. The 10 American missionaries jailed on kidnapping charges in Haiti could be released as early as today after telling a judge why they tried to bring 33 children out of the country. A 12-year-old is charged with killing his father's pregnant fiancée. Now he could face life in prison. Should he be tried as an adult? We'll hear from both sides of this controversial case. And Toyota's troubles are Hollywood's too. We'll tell you why the latest recall is reaching all the way to the red carpet. Early this Thursday morning, February 11th, 2010.
After the storm, New York City has a white blanket over it, but the snow has stopped. Good morning, everyone. I'm Maggie Rodriguez.
There are some really great snowmen in the park this year. Overnight, walking through, snowmen all over the place because it was perfect snowball and snowmen making snow in New York.
And sledding weather, too.
Yeah, really good. Did you sled? You could take?
Well, no, we didn't get to, but we were walking around outside. I thought we were spared the worst of it. Compared to other cities and what they're going through,
no question.
We had it easy here in New York.
I want to show you some exclusive footage that I shot last night. Yes, this is Reggie Cam. Kids and dogs are happiest in the snow. And there we are in Central Park about 10:30 last night.
Reggie, I can't see him because he's white like the snow, so I can't really see Reggie.
Snow, it's easier.
Look at that. Oh, yeah. Happy, happy, happy.
A lot of fun. It is a good story here in New York City, but in other parts of the country, it is a big old mess, and that's where we begin this morning. Let's get caught up on the big cleanup now after the East Coast's second major storm in a week. Yesterday's storm was big enough to set all-time snow records in several cities. Dave has the latest on that. Good morning, Dave.
All right, good morning, folks.
Much.
You got it.
Now let's get to the news with Erica Hill at the news desk. Good morning, Erica.
Thanks, Maggie. Good morning to you. Some mixed news for you on the foreclosure front this morning. The number of households facing foreclosure in January actually dropped 10% from December. That's according to the foreclosure monitoring firm RealtyTrack. We should point out that that number is actually up 15% from last January. Now, meantime, Citigroup this morning says it is trying out a new plan to let homeowners on the verge of foreclosure stay in their homes for 6 months. Here's the catch. Homeowners will have to turn over the deed to their property to do that. And the White House will report to Congress this morning on the economic crisis. That report to predict there will be an average of 95,000 jobs added per month through this year. Although it does also expect the nation's unemployment rate to remain stuck at about 10%. As for the U.S. economy, it's predicted to grow by 2.5%. In Iran this morning, the country announcing it has successfully taken the next step toward the production of nuclear weapons. That news comes on the 31st anniversary of the revolution that overthrew the U.S.-backed government of Iran. CBS News correspondent Elizabeth Palmer is in London for us this morning with more. Elizabeth, good morning.
The new music gets me going, and so does this beautiful picture of Manhattan, which dodged a major bullet with the storm yesterday. The snow has stopped. The streets are clear. We're happy. Welcome back to The Early Show. I'm Maggie Rodriguez with Harry Smith.
Morning, everybody. Coming up, Toyota's busy fixing all those recalled cars and trucks. How is it going to fix its battered image? We're going to ask a marketing expert. We're also going to tell you why this week's Prius recall is hitting home in Hollywood. I'm going to say when the Prius came out, was that like 4 or 5 years ago?
I think so.
I was out for the Oscars. There was a big Oscar party. Nobody in the country had seen a Prius, and we're all waiting for our cars. And there's this whole line of Priuses. It's really all about that out there.
And they're suffering because of it. Also ahead this morning, what to think about on this cold winter's day. Certain things that you can do to avoid colds and flu, but you should take into account your age, because the things that you should do when you're 35 are not the same as the things you should do when you're 55. We're going to show you how to stay healthy no matter how old you are.
All right. But before we go over to Erica Hill, we do a very important thing here throughout the program is we check in, well, first we move our microphone up a little bit, is we check in with the affiliates around the country to help them understand what's going on. And I was just checking in with our friends in Nashville just moments ago, trying to conduct some business, and Erica walks in right, look at that.
Can I tell you why she ducked?
Yes.
Because I turned around and I went... And then you kept talking, and I was trying to signal you that the pregnant woman is ducking behind you and hurry up.
Wearing heels, I might add.
But I didn't know how to tell you,
Thank
Harry.
you, Maggie.
Down in the corner for a good 2 minutes. And so I kept going like this. I kept, oh, yeah, okay.
And then she walks in and goes, is Dr. Jennifer Ashton still here? Because I may need her.
Just in case, it's always good to have an OB on staff, right?
Can't hurt,
Definitely
especially in this building.
Sorry about that, Harry.
Let's get to the news, kiddo.
We can do that. We begin with the economy. There is some good news to report for you when it comes to foreclosures. Foreclosure rates in January down by 10% from December, according to Realty Track, which monitors foreclosures in the country. But the number of foreclosures in January compared to the same time last year, we should point out, was actually up by 15%. In Iran this morning, the 31st anniversary of the Islamic Revolution there, marked by mass rallies and protests. Government supporters numbering in the hundreds of thousands gathering to hear President Mahmoud Ahmadinejad.
It's pretty. It's really pretty in the city. And if it's before 9 o'clock in the morning and you're in Central Park, you can let your dog off the leash. Or after 9 o'clock at night. Right? Have we shown enough yet? On my exclusive Reggie video?
I think we need to show more in case anybody missed it at the top of the
last night,
program.
you know, I took the dog out. There's Reggie. And Reggie, like most dogs, is really into the snow. So we have exclusive pictures from our Reggie cam.
He's a golden doodle?
He's a golden doodle, half golden, half poodle. Look at him, he says, yeah, baby!
I love the way they just bound like that. They turn into kangaroos almost.
That's true.
Need to let people know.
Yes.
The day after the blizzard begins yellow snow season in a lot of metropolitan areas.
Oh, it
Please
started
take
yesterday
good
with
care.
my dog. It's alive and well.
Absolutely.
There you go. So
what were you doing up so late?
You got a dog. You got to walk him.
Waiting for Reggie to be able to play, right?
It's Rivalry Week on ESPN.
Well, but for right now, keep it on the early show. We got a lot coming up, including what are the odds that Americans are fatter than ever because of common things all around us? Things like plastic bottles, pesticides. We're going to hear about the surprising new theory, and we're going to tell you about what you can do about it.
As long as it's not my fault. As long as I can blame it on something else, it's fine.
Also had this morning, Hollywood's A-list makeup man, Scott Barnes, shares some of his insider tips. He promises we can all go from average to amazing, even you, Dave.
Oh, you know who Scott Barnes is? He's the guy responsible for the J-Lo glow. He invented that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, we'll be checking in with him in just a moment.
Oh, interesting.
Also ahead, you know you can spend a fortune, of course, on Valentine's Day. The candy, the flowers, or you can grab a very good-looking bargain. Katie Lee is here to show us how to save or splurge for your sweetheart coming up on Sunday.
Go ahead,
Speaking
Dave.
of good-looking bargains.
That is not nice.
Hi,
Speaking
Katie.
of good-looking, period.
Absolutely.
Katie is so brave to keep coming back in the morning, isn't she?
Despite the abuse.
Yes.
Jeez.
Can I ask?
Can we give props for Mayor Bloomberg? He played this so right.
Job.
Yeah.
The city, for the
Look at
most
this.
part, looks great. Some tertiary streets need a little bit of work, but
You can
You
buzz
just
right up
wanted
and
to
down
say
Fifth Avenue.
tertiary, didn't you?
you know what?
That's
I
right.
like that.
What were you going to say?
I was going to say, why are we playing music with a little bit of a Caribbean twist in it, a little bit of steel drum when
That's
we're
a
out
knife
here?
twisting
It
into
is
To try to
cool.
change our brains.
It's not only salt on the street, but salt. Listen to that wind. Let's go to the maps
It's
right now.
much colder now than when I walked into work this
Well, the
morning.
winds have picked up. We're going to see gusting winds today, Harry.
Thanks,
Upwards of
Dr.
30
Sy.
You know that song, Live Like You Were Dying?
Oh, great
That's
song.
what she does. And she didn't do it to make the most of her life. She did it to inspire her family. To
And
live that
clearly
way.
it's worked.
And it's
When you
worked.
hear what they have to say.
Do you guys have anything you want to really, really want to do in life?
I don't know. I don't have like a full-on bucket list.
Yeah.
But just, I mean, as corny as it sounds, really to take more advantage of those days that you have and the time with your family, which is so fleeting, especially as you get older.
The most important part of that story is you look at the look on her face. She made this very serious decision, and it's resulted in just so much joy.
Joy, exactly. That's the word.
Yeah.
You know, I think the thing you balance is extending life versus quality of life.
That's
and each person makes their own decision, but it's good to see she's pursuing her decision with style.
And we look forward to going dog sledding with Susie next.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
I can't wait.
She'll do it, too. Have a great day, everybody. Your local news is next.